I'm Laura.
I'm Cecilia.
And we're the Bobbsey twins. No, I'm just joking.
We kind of are today.
This is the Three Kittens Needle Arts Yarn Mews podcast.
We should get a longer name.
Yeah, I think so. I could have just said Yarn Mews and just left it at that,
You could
right?
have. But
Whatever. It is on the Three Kittens Needle Arts channel.
It is.
So,
yeah. They probably know that if they come here.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
or
not.
maybe they're just wandering the internet.
But we are kind of twinsies today because we're both wearing the same garment.
We are.
Yeah.
And
so,
we both use that beautiful
chartreuse
color.
It's not mustard, it's chartreuse.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Anyhow,
ground mustard.
Carol, one of our new viewers, watched the podcast last time, and she said, I wanted to know what you guys were wearing. So we thought, I wore my Janesville jacket today. That's what this garment is called. And Cecilia happened to have hers hanging over her chair. And so I said, oh, we should both wear ours today on the podcast. So
yeah,
we are.
Even though I'm not actually cold today for the first time in about 6 months.
Yeah, I'm not cold today either. I'm a little warm. But, it's starting to heat up outside. It's getting into the 30s.
It is.
And
warm.
And the sun in our new space really heats the space up. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting this summer when it's hot outside and we get all that sun. And we'll be running that AC a lot.
Yeah. Well, and everyone will agree with me that the sun is the worst.
maybe not. But anyway, we were going to say, that again, this is the Janesville jacket. It's by Blue Sky Fibers. I don't remember who the designer is, but
but it's under their patterns.
It's under their patterns, and it's just an easy little short top with short sleeves. Cecilia did hers like they said in the pattern where it's open at the bottom, and I decided no, I'm closed mine up. So,
but I wanted mine to be just a thing I threw over and I could flap.
Yeah, she likes to flap about, kind of like a bat, but whatever.
Someday I hope to be man bat.
But made with Blue Sky Fibers wool stock.
Because we love wool stock.
Which happens to also be the yarn that we use for our PERT project this month. This is the Mason Cowl by Julie Hoover, I believe. I'll check on that. If I'm wrong, then I'll put a little thing on the screen. But it's also out of wool stock. It's my favorite yarn right now. I love this yarn. It is just a generic wool, I believe. No, fine Highland wool. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have said generic wool. Fine Highland wool. And it comes in lots of fabulous colors. We've put some colorways together for the cowl kit.
That's a very nice color.
Yeah.
Brown
and yellow. We've got a rust and a deep blue. I think that's very pretty too. Same deep blue. Wow, I got three of the same deep blues.
This part's going to be very shaky. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'll stop touching the table. And green. And the same blue. What was I thinking when I was pulling them off the shelf? And a light blue.
Bet you like that blue?
Yeah. I did. Oh, actually, is this one the same blue? Yeah, it is. I actually just bought some of this blue for a sweater for myself. So, yeah. Anyway, if you're a 3K Club member, you get the yarn at 10% off if you buy it to make this cowl. This month of March.
Yes.
Can't believe it's still March.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason it feels like it should be past March already. I don't know. I think it's the light change, with the color or with the time change. The light is different later in the day, and it gets me mixed up.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm sure that's what gets you mixed up.
Well, didn't it used to be that we changed the time in April?
Yes.
And so
someone stupid person decided we should change the time.
I really think we should just get rid of it.
I think so too. It's stupid.
Daylight saving time.
Hate daylight savings
I don't even know if are we on standard time or daylight savings time right now?
We're on daylight savings time right now.
I can never remember those.
And it's nonsense. Just nonsense.
So, anywho. What you working on, Cecilia?
I'm still working on this sweater.
We're both working on red things. Different yarns, though.
So, look, I got part of a sleeve, everybody.
Woohoo!
But yeah, feels like I'm never gonna finish. I hate sleeves. They're the worst.
What's the pattern again?
It's this Malin.
Malin by
Isabella Kramer, I believe.
Isabel Kramer.
Isabel. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, Isabel. I always want to add an A there.
And
It's out of the Kate Classic.
by Rowan.
Yes, which is lovely. I love this yarn. It's the best. And I can't wait to wear it, except for now, of course, it's going to be too warm.
Yeah, so she'll have to wait till next year.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I plan on being alive next year, so.
Excellent.
And I'll probably be cold, so life is good.
But when you're done, we're going to have it up in the store for a little bit, right?
It'll be here in the store for a while, so everyone can come in and look at it and tell me how awesome a knitter I am.
Yeah.
Make me feel good, you know.
She is an awesome knitter.
I'm okay. I'm alright. I do okay.
Well, I am working on, I don't even remember what the name of it is. I've had this project on the needles for many, many years. We don't even carry the yarn anymore. I'm using Elspeth Lavold's Silky Wool,
Oh, I like
which is
Silky Wool.
lovely yarn. It just stopped selling for us, so we stopped carrying it. But, you know, maybe when I get this done, maybe we bring it back in. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's called Ripples and Waves, and it's by Dando. I'll put a picture up there because showing you the picture on here is not helpful at all. And it's got a big lacy section here.
Nice.
And then it's got another.
Is it a sweater or
It's
is it
another.
a
It's
shawl?
like a shrug kind of thing. So
Interesting.
yeah, you can wear it either direction, upside down, right side up. I always love things that you can wear different ways. The weird thing though is that I usually just wear them
One
the same way over
Yeah.
and over and over again. But I like the concept.
You like the idea that
Yes.
someday you might be able to do something different with it.
Someday I might be brave enough to try it a different way. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we actually did an interview last Monday with Amy Swanson from June Cashmere.
She came to see us.
Yeah,
She was delightful.
Yeah, she was. So she came to give a presentation on June Cashmere and what they do and why their work is important. And they brought a bunch of samples of things made out of their 2 weights of cashmere yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
Just very, very informative and interesting. You know, it's all about development in third world countries and, you know, fair trade kind of stuff. So, so that was,
things.
yeah, it was really fun. And we have we're going to show the little clip of our interview with her. So, we're going to pause it, do the interview, and then we'll be back.
All right.
Okay,
Every day a problem.
Okay, we'll wait till it stops.
So do you ever look at each other when you do this? or
Sometimes.
just-
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll just back up a little so I'm there.
All right, I think we can start. Well, we have Amy here today from June Cashmere, and welcome, Amy.
Thank
Well,
you.
I know you're here
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we are too. Amy's doing a presentation in our store today on June Cashmere and what they're all about, and we thought it'd be fun to just have her come in and talk to us a little bit today as well. So
We're forcing her to do this. We got colors, you just can't see them.
There are handcuffs that you can't see.
she's tied to the chair. And we're oriented a little bit different today, so I think there's a lot of shadows on our faces, but you know, you guys can deal with it. So,
It's a special occasion.
so Amy, tell us about June Cashmere and what they're all about and why they're special.
So we are a company that works exclusively in Kyrgyzstan. We source and work directly with our shepherds in the mountain regions, predominantly in the south.
And tell us where Kyrgyzstan is.
It sits in
I wish I had a map, but
Central Asia. If we put on my talk, we could have flipped to the map. But look at Central Asia, and China is just to the east, and Uzbekistan is to the west, and you're going to have Russia. I think there might be a country in between, but maybe not. So it's sitting right there. China I think Tajikistan is right around it, and then you're going to hit, Pakistan.
Yeah.
So
all
that's
the
Central
stands.
Asia. Yes. Yes. And we are there. In about 2007 or 8, it was discovered that there were goats in this high Chongalai mountain region. The mountains are about 20,000 foot high, and the valley sits at about 10 to 14,000 feet. And there are goats there that are still original regional fine cashmere
That's
goats.
cool.
That's awesome.
Very awesome.
So you're working with the shepherds directly there, right?
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about their lifestyle. What do they live in yurts?
In the summer,
Okay.
yes, they are. They have villages in the valley during the winter, fall, winter months when it's spring, which is starting to happen now. This is when the goats start to naturally molt the cashmere. So for those who don't know, the cashmere is that downy undercoat that grows only for the winter, and it naturally molts off in spring. And we have taught shepherds how to comb.
Okay.
Or long ago they used to comb.
Yeah.
When we started to work with the shepherds, folks were coming in and purchasing from them through a middleman, and they were shearing. But
okay.
goats benefit from having that outer coat still because
Yeah.
they're still going to encounter
Okay.
some cold. So we go in and we right now we're heading down to collect fiber.
Cool.
And it amounts to sort of a spring crop sale in particular when funds are low and they're getting ready to then leave their villages to go up to the mountains and spend the summer in their yurts with their animals grazing. So they have been nomadic and now semi-nomadic for centuries.
Very
That's
interesting.
awesome.
So, what happens once the fiber is collected? How does it become yarn?
We sort the fiber, and then we have.
Does it get graded or?
Yes,
Okay.
it gets graded, and we've gone in to do programs and education with shepherds to show. They use their animals for all kinds of products, including food.
Yeah.
And so we have shown how to find what is the best staple, what goat is producing the finest fiber,
Right.
and then guide toward eating different goats, but breeding for fiber with these goats.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even in I know that our folks have come back from villages and say year 3 of collection, they're just so excited because they can see how the fiber is reaching its maximum
that's great.
potential.
Wow.
Yeah. So you collect the fiber and then.
So
what's the
then you
next
wondered
thing?
about grading, and we actually pay more, so as incentive to keep working with their
Sure.
fiber, and not to have more goats, but to work with the goats that you have.
Selective breeding kind of
And
thing.
yes, because overuse of land has been an issue of poorly managed cashmere.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're trying not to do that. And so shepherds get more per the value. So they actually are graded and paid and it's usually the back of a vehicle.
Yeah.
And then we sort again. And now it's very exciting. We're so young still in our company. But we have the opportunity to work with the last commercial dehairer in England
Okay.
who wants to retire after 30
Yeah.
some odd years, and they are partnering to we're purchasing the dehairing equipment and establishing a mill in Kyrgyzstan. And
So what is dehairing?
dehairing? So the process of cashmere is that you sort, and then it will go to a scourer for washing, and then you go through dehairing. So because you comb, only that downy undercoat is cashmere, but combing and molting, you're going to naturally get some of those outer guard hairs in the fiber.
And they're coarser and pricklier.
Yes, and so you want to get those out, and there's
Right, okay.
specialized equipment that does that.
Very cool.
And so,
Sort of like your gray hairs versus your regular color hairs. The gray hairs are always harder. It's like that.
okay.
Bringing it down to the level that people understand.
Awesome.
So the dehairing equipment is coming over. You're going to establish a mill, so it won't be just dehairing. It will be also spinning.
We will not do spinning.
Okay.
We will still go to England for spinning
Okay.
and likely dyeing.
Okay.
And then England and Italy, they just have such a history of spinning
Sure.
Yeah.
highest quality cashmere.
Yeah.
And so we talk about how our yarn is spun in the British tradition
Right.
of highest quality cashmere. So after it's dyed, it will land to Ohio because that is where our founder is originally from, and will be sold.
Wow, that's great. So
Fabulous.
I don't really know the difference between these, but is it woolen spun or worsted spun?
It's woolen because the fibers are very, very short.
Okay. I don't really know the difference. It just sounds
One makes
good.
an S and one makes a Z.
Yeah.
But I can't remember which does which.
It's a difference in the draw method if you're hand
okay.
spinning, but of course this is machine.
Right.
machine
Exactly.
spun.
Exactly. I think there aren't very many worsted spun yarns in the hand knitting industry. Every once in a while you hear this is a worsted spun yarn, but again, I have to do a little research into what the benefits or negatives are about each.
Yeah,
yarn.
often, I mean, with the little spinning that I have done, it has to do with the length of the fibers. So certain fibers call for a different strategy.
Right.
But to be even more complicated, we've conflated this term worsted into calling one of the weights of our yarn
Yeah.
Yes,
worsted weight,
exactly.
which
Yeah.
Yeah.
is very different than the method.
Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of like in England, DK or double knitting means something different than it does here.
Yeah,
So,
there you
yeah.
go.
So,
Yeah.
so tell us about yourself. Are you a knitter?
I am a knitter. I learned how to knit, I think it was about the 4th grade. It was 4-H. And it was
Oh,
really
fabulous.
private lessons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's great. I was in 4-H too, but not for textile-y things. I had animals, so
Oh, yeah. Didn't do animals, and that was really the only thing I did with 4-H.
yeah. So, and I understand you also weave a little.
Yeah, so I've had the opportunity about 10 years ago. My husband is originally from Ohio, so we moved back to Ohio, and I began to weave at the Cultural Arts Center in town.
Very cool.
Yeah, and learned to spin in
Where are you originally from?
northern Michigan.
Woohoo!
I'm a snow girl, like the Minnesotans.
From the UP.
Not
the
northern.
UP?
I'm northern lower, so we always say
you're
like
in
from right
you're
here.
in the mitt.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
It's complex.
That's the mitt and the thumb. Isn't that what it is?
The mitten and the thumb. So Detroit area is here. I'm from up here. Traverse City isn't far, but then the UP.
Where's Grand Rapids? I've been there.
So I'm an hour straight north of Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or my family is.
I've only ever, I think, driven through southern Michigan on our way to somewhere else. I don't believe I've ever been anywhere there.
Yeah, don't tell them, but northern lower is very different than southern.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's okay. I think they know
probably
too.
know.
They know
Probably
that
know.
this Lake Michigan shoreline is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any questions, Cecilia, for Amy? You want to grill her on something?
Well, I've already gotten where she was from. I don't know more. And you got your social security number.
No, but I'll tell you about my philosophy about yarn a little bit.
Yes,
So I'm just really, I just often feel very fortunate that I could get to work with this company.
Yeah.
It was, I feel very serendipitous that I met Cy at a little local yarn show, and he only had 4 colors, so he was just starting out.
Yeah.
And actually, I was trying to figure out, I'm in career 2, and was trying to figure out how can I earn money
Right.
doing what I love. And so it all started with working with him. I started with a blog and was going to do a blog post, and ended up writing an article that got into Selvage magazine. If you know Selvage,
wow.
I know. And so that was pretty amazing. And then I don't believe I've ever said this to anyone, but I said at one point, if you ever need me, I should work for you.
And he did.
And he did.
That's fabulous.
He went back to Kurdistan and he said, okay. But I am very into slow making. My father was a carpenter and of Scandinavian descent, so there's a lot of influence in that, I find, unknowingly, in the kind of aesthetic that I like in terms of textiles, in terms of my weaving.
Yeah.
But very into slow making and really into, if I can get some time, the notion of working with 1 or 2 yarns a lot, like you used to do in about the 50s, you know, the Zimmerman days. There weren't so many yarns out. And learning a yarn and understanding its qualities and knowing what that yarn can accomplish. So
that's so different than how I think most people nowadays treat yarn. It's like, oh, that's something new to try, you know. So there's a lot of
it is. I think
around.
it is a very different philosophy.
But it's funny because I mean I know I have my favorite yarn right now, and it's just a workhorse yarn. But I love it. I've made a garment in it. I have another garment ready to go, and you know it's just I just like it so much. It's such a good yarn.
You know, I do the whole, you know, concentrate on one yarn mainly because I'm allergic to merino. Only merino, not
that's
just
amazing.
merino. And I knew about this before I started knitting. And so I started knitting and all of a sudden like, okay, here is like 80% of the yarns I can't use.
So that really had helped you focus.
Yeah, and so then I had to learn about all the fibers and what they do because I'm trying to, you know, I taught myself to knit, so I'm just saying, well, this is the same weight. Will that work? It's like, oh, no, maybe that didn't work so well, you know?
Exactly.
And so I became kind of a fiber expert because of that. But then it's, if I find a yarn I like, then I like buy all I can. You know?
So Cecilia already has some June Cashmere GK to make a shawl.
I do.
And
it's this shawl.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
So what's the name of the shawl? Do you remember?
The byway shawl.
Yep, it's this one.
And it's by Kristen Kapoor. Is that right?
Kristen Kapoor.
Kristen Kapoor. Oh, okay.
Oh, we don't have the name.
No, I'm pretty sure that's who it's by.
I think
This is an old tag where we need to update the designer on
But it's really cute. And of course, Cecilia's already got planned what she's going to buy today.
Yes.
Yes,
for
show
her
'em.
next thing.
Grab it and show them.
And then after that, you have to talk about the garment you're wearing because I want to make this.
This is right. So while she's getting that, I'll show. This is our amazing Nora Gone Sand Waves poncho, and I'll just stand up. Maybe you can see that it is so.
It's so fabulous.
It's so fabulous. You feel like $1 million when you wear it. The design shows off the yarn. It looks like it's a little more. It looks kind of complex, but really it's a stitch pattern and a cable. And we have a knit along on our website that you can follow independently, or you know, maybe get your shop to do it.
Yeah, we have a knit along coming up.
Our knit along is going to be anything you want to do that's June Cashmere.
Oh, excellent.
So they can come do that.
So
Here's-
sure.
I don't remember the
gonna
dates,
make
but I'll
this
put them on the
best.
screen.
This is our best, and this one was right, Paula Pereira.
Yep.
She's Brazilian.
It's fabulous.
It is. It's perfect
really
on
cute.
you.
And,
What color did you decide?
well, I haven't totally decided. It's going to be one of these
uh-huh.
three. Because
Nice.
these are
Plum,
three
scarlet,
colors
or
I
black
love.
cherry.
And they all go well with my shirt today.
Yes. Except I won't let you wear it.
That's okay. It won't fit me anyway. So there you go.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well,
awesome.
Yeah, great. I think that's it, Amy. Thank you so
Yeah.
much
Well,
for
thank
joining
you.
us.
We're so
Yeah.
excited you came all the way from
Oh well,
Columbus.
it was.
and-
I'm thrilled, and it
You
was.
know.
It's a beautiful sunny day, and it
It
was a
is.
great flight.
Yeah, well, that's all you can ask for.
Thank you for inviting.
Well, thank you.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. So I hope you enjoyed that. I wish I had that map that she showed during her presentation to show you where Kyrgyzstan is and where the communities are that they work with. That would have been interesting,
Yeah.
but I didn't think to ask her for the map. Okay. So I should talk about, well, first of all, I hope it didn't freak you out that my hair was longer and not shorter again. I did get my hair cut this last week.
It isn't just that she's like that doll I had when I was a kid, where you turned.
Oh, I remember that.
Turned the little knob in the back, and the hair just
I remember
sucked
that.
in. Man, I used to wish I could do that.
Maybe that was good and kept kids from cutting their dolls' hairs.
Could be.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I still have mine, and it still has the long little ponytail thing. So, but I was never that kid. I
never was either. No.
I wouldn't have cut anything.
Cecilia is actually going to be doing a June Cashmere knit-along.
Yes, I am. So
she'll talk about it.
It starts on Wednesday, and if you want to make something with some June Cashmere, you can come on in. It doesn't matter what pattern you choose. As long as it's a June Cashmere pattern. I'm doing this vest. It's called the Tale vest, which means lucky, happy.
Oh,
so
in
Kyrgyz, whatever, Kyrgyzstan. So, and I'm doing it in this beautiful black cherry. And
it kind of matches the color of your sweater that you're wearing.
Yes,
I think you've got a theme.
I do. It's one of my truisms that all yarn looks better in purple. So, like, monkeys are funny. Just things that are just true. You can't help it. It's just a universal fact.
Okay.
So anyway, I had looked at this pattern on their website and thought, ooh, that's cute. I don't know, Lana. And she brought it with, and I tried it on. I'm like, yeah, I'm making that.
Several people bought yarn for that pattern.
Yeah.
I really thought the popular pattern, she had this beautiful poncho. I almost bought yarn for it, but I didn't. Because it was made out of the lace weight and it had a bunch of cables and stuff. And I'm not really a cable person.
But I think that's a lot of work on
that is a lot of work.
Lace weight yarn.
Yeah,
so, whereas this is less work on a DK yarn, and you could just wear it with everything. So I'm very excited. We'll be starting that on Wednesday, so I may or may not
Wednesday the 20th?
20th at 6
p.m.
So just call in or go online. You can just type in, I want to sign up to this. And it's free. You get to hang out with me. A couple people have already signed up, so we'll just knit and we'll talk.
Actually, you can sign up online.
Yeah.
And it's $0, so you may have to select a shipping method, even though nothing's going to be shipped to you in order for it to go through. I know we had that trouble with the June Cashmere event, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't know why it makes us do that now, but
it is what
computers.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited to start that, and
cool.
That's actually a thing you could wear seasonally because it's just a little vest, and you can wear it in the summer when you're chilly or in really bad air conditioning, or you go up north to the lake and you're hanging out. If you're that person,
or wear it this fall and winter.
That's
next
true.
fall and winter.
Yeah, true. You could do that too.
Yeah. So I don't know if I've been talking to you at all, but I'm having a shoulder issue, and I was seeing a physical therapist about it.
I've heard all about it.
So I went down to Florida.
Non-stop.
And it's so sad.
Yeah.
I had a CPAP injury.
Yeah.
Yes, I wear a CPAP at night. And I happened to reach for it.
The worst kind of injuries.
How? That hurt. So I realized, though, so I've been seeing this physical therapist for 3 weeks, and I've been seeing another guy that I go to for myofascial release, and it's kind of getting better, but I realized day before, there were two, I'm a Minnesota Wild fan, I know I've talked about that before, there are 2 hockey games on TV this weekend, and I sat down on the sofa, and I watched them, and I knitted, and I was knitting on something that I really had to pay attention to, so I was like this, right, looking at it the whole time. And I'm sitting on my sofa, which is squishy, and so I'm sitting like this, and I'm like this. Oh, my shoulder's just killing me now. And I realized, you know what? I can't sit like that anymore.
Nope.
I gotta do something, either with pillows or something to make me sit upright, because that's making it worse.
Yes.
Because the physical therapist says it's really this muscle in here that's getting tight, and my shoulder is moving forward, and that makes everything tight back there.
Yeah.
So I really have to consciously think about, okay, put those shoulders back, sit up straight, and I can't do it in that sofa. So
You just need a different chair for you sitting
I
there?
can't, though, in the place that the TV is. I mean, we can't move the sofa. This is a tiny little room, and there's just no... So I just have to figure out a way to prop myself up there.
Yeah.
Or move my light. There is another chair that I could sit in, but it's kind of made that way too, where I would flop back. So I don't know. I'll figure something out. But I was very happy to realize that
That's
was
part of the problem.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
You know, we should have Carson Dimmers come sometime. I can't remember what his book name is.
I don't know,
Remember?
something like ergonomics for knitters or something
Yeah.
like that. It's
But he's he talks about, you know, ways to make knitting more comfortable for your body, which I think is important. My physical therapist did say today, he said, you know, it would probably help if you hold your knitting up closer to your face so you're not looking like this. And I said, I do already. Yay, I already have that. That part's not the problem. I know.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so door prize. Oh,
Yes.
okay. So we have a new winner this time. One of our new, sorry, I don't know why I brought that out here.
I don't know.
New podcast watchers, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I can't find it. But her name is Laura.
Yeah.
That I remember. And I will put her name on the screen, and I will put a little note on her comment on our YouTube channel saying that she won. So yay!
Yay!
And we got another prize this week, of course. We have another leftover Cloud9 bag from last year. So we're gonna give that away. And we have this beautiful skein of Wasco DK from
Wasco.
Araucania. And I don't remember what the yardage is.
I don't know.
Hold on,
A
I'm
bunch.
going to find it. 310 yards, so that's plenty to make a scarf or a hat or what have you.
Baby sweater.
Baby sweater, that'd be cute. Well, I was going to show off the little baby thing that I knit, but you know what? I'm sending it off to the finisher to put the little snaps in because I don't want to do that. So it'll be
Next
back for
time.
next podcast.
Yeah.
What else do we have to talk about, Cecilia?
Well, let's see. We got tons of stuff coming up. We got, can I talk about
What?
the trunk show that's coming up, or do you want me to wait?
Well, let's do it in order of what we have here. So
Okay.
first thing,
there's Shop
Hop. That's April 4th through 7th.
Yes.
And
We got the Easy Passes on sale right now.
yep, easy passes. So here's how it works. When you go to one of the stores, there are 14 stores in the Shop Up. When you go to one of them, you get a stamp on your passport. You get the free pattern or patterns that the store has. You look at the cool yarn that they have that they got specifically for their pattern that they designed. And if you give a donation to their food shelf, you get a little trinket. It's a collectible item. I can't say what it is, but it's different every year.
Yes.
And the recommended donation is $5 cash check when you come in. However, if you're going to all 14 stores, or even if you're going to more than 10 stores, it's a good idea to buy the Easy Pass, which is $50, and it gets you that trinket at every single store that you're going to. That way you don't have to stand in line to pay your money. I mean, you have to stand in line to get your passport stamp, but you don't have to dig around through your wallet. It just saves you some time. It saves you money. If you're going to all 14 stores, it saves you $20.
And
Yeah.
what happens if they get all 14 stamps?
If they get all 14 stamps, then you turn your passport in and you get entered into the grand prize drawing. We're giving 4 $250 gift certificates away.
That's nice.
as grand prizes. That you can use at any of the stores, or any combination of the stores that are involved in Shop Hop. If you can't make it to all 14 stores, you still turn in your passport with as many stamps as you have on it, and you get entered into a second chance drawing, which I can never remember how much that is. And then each store gives first prize as well. And then we have daily prize drawings for lesser amounts at each store.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun thing. We just got our yarn just arrived last week.
It's very exciting.
It's beautiful.
It is. And we're
And-
going to have a knit pattern and a crochet pattern like we always do.
Always.
And they're
Yep.
both awesome.
I test crocheted the crochet pattern that Shelley designed I finished it last week, and it's beautiful.
It is.
And I know Elizabeth's test knitting the
Yours?
my design for the knitting design, and she should have that in this week, so I'm excited to see that. And then off to the printer they will go.
Yes.
So
Very exciting.
yeah, it's just 2.5 weeks away.
It is. It's almost
So,
here.
Almost here. So come on over during the Shop Hop. This next event that we have is Fana Goberstein, who's a designer, is coming to teach a couple of classes for us. She's the co-author of a couple of books. One is called Seamless Knitting,
The Art of Seamless Knitting.
The Art of Seamless Knitting, and the other one is called The Art of Slip Stitch Knitting, and she's teaching 2 slip stitch classes for us
Yes.
on Friday, April 26th. The next day, she will be at Yarn Over, and we will be there too with a booth. Yarn Over is a one-day workshop that the Minnesota Knitters Guild puts on. They have a lot of national instructors that come to teach, and so we'll be there. We'll have a booth. Fana will be doing a book signing for us, as will Kate Atherley, and
exciting.
we'll have lots of fun stuff in our booth.
Yes. Always a good time.
Yeah. And then the next thing is
Mine.
yeah.
So.
Well, it's the stores, but Cecilia's organizing
I'm
it.
organizing this because it's a thing that's near and dear to my heart. We are having Fairy Tale Knits is sending in a trunk show, and it's going to start on May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day, because May the 4th be with you. And, and she has a whole line of Star Wars colors. And
Very cool.
so she's introducing 2 new ones this year, one of which is called like Revenge of the Fifth or something. So we're having a Star Wars weekend, and it's going to be very exciting. I'm gathering up Star Wars trivia, and so there will be trivia questions and fabulous prizes, and I'm not 100% sure what those fabulous prizes will be, but I'm going to come up with something, trust me. And I'm very excited. So make sure you come in that weekend. Watch all the Star Wars movies you possibly can, so you can,
Answer those trivia
know your
questions.
Sarlaccs from your Boba Fett's, and well, there's only one Boba Fett. So,
I know who that is, and I haven't even watched all of them. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing, and I'm just really excited.
So here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were watching the Star Wars movie, which one would you start with? Would you start with the original one? Because chronologically, I mean, in terms of when they were filmed, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But chronologically in the storyline, that doesn't make sense.
Well, you could go either way. I would argue that the original one, A New Hope, which is episode 4, is better than the first 3, because those have some serious weaknesses. Mainly that George Lucas was allowed a computer and too much computer animation, and so it has a certain amount of deadness to it, whereas those middle 4 have all the little models, and it has more depth. But that's just a technical thing that, but you could.
So if you were starting with number 4, where is that in the chronological order?
It's number 4.
No, I mean not chronological of when it was filmed, chronological of the time period of the of the time that they're looking at?
Well, the Empire is in charge. The first 3 episodes is the fall of the Republic. Okay? And it's...
But the first one is Star Wars, right?
They're all called Star Wars.
The very first one did not have a subtitle. Okay, it was Star Wars.
It was Star Wars Episode 4. It said Episode 4. It always said Episode 4. It always did, which was very confusing for people who went to go see it the first time. I thought you
said you wouldn't.
I would start with that one. Yeah, that's the original. That's not Episode 4, A New Hope.
So confusing.
The first 3 episodes were the ones that came out in the 90s.
Okay.
All right, because that's what they're called. They're called episodes.
Okay, so
They're
if you're
all
doing it
Star Wars
chronologically,
are you talking about when it was filmed?
No, I'm talking about
chronologically in time.
In the storyline.
In the storyline, then you would start with episode 1. It goes episode 1 through 9. Now, if you wanted to add in the other things, then you would watch Rogue One and Solo. It would be Solo, so in between the Republic falling and A New Hope, episode 4. Rogue One is right before that one, and the Solo movie would be before Rogue One.
Okay, so it'd be 1 through 3.
Yes.
Solo. Rogue One. 4 through whatever.
Yes, 4 through whatever.
What's the whatever number?
Well, they are working on episode 9 right now.
Oh my God.
Which will be the last one.
Okay.
It was always meant to be 9 parts. Because his idea was...
Why did he start with 4?
I think because that was the one he had written out. I think in his mind he always had this whole thing, and because he loved serials as a kid, like Commando Cody and Flash Gordon, that was what his inspiration was.
Yeah.
And basically, New Hope, episode 4, is
the original Star Wars.
The original Star Wars is based upon a World War II movie.
Which movie?
I can never remember the name of it. I've seen it even. Anyway, it's about these British bombers going in to blow up a German base where they're making military stuff, and some of the actual fighting scenes at the end are right from this movie.
Interesting.
So yeah. But I might not have such hard questions for you.
But one of them might be chronologically. Which movie would be the first? And it might have 2 answers.
It might have 2.
Episode 4 or episode 1.
Based off a film date or... Yes.
Yeah.
But
funny.
I love Star Wars movies.
I remember going to see the first one when it came out in the movie theater.
I do too.
It was good.
It was good. I
lost interest though after about the 5th one. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be because episode 1 through 3 are not very good. But they're fine. They're,
Is 1 when Anakin's a boy?
Yes.
Okay, I actually kind of like that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're fine. They're not... I mean, it's the thing of when I saw, episode 4, I was 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, very impactful. And when we took Serena to go see episode 1 through 3, she loved them because they were very impactful for her.
Right.
Because she was the right age. And
right.
I think really they are meant for kids that age. It's that,
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't hate on them. I'm just saying they're not quite as good.
Right.
But they all have, you can't think too hard about them because they all have some serious issues. It's like they have plot holes, all of them.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like this, and it's like, well, wait a second. If you actually sat down and thought about it, it's like, well, how did that work? How did he not know about this? Or,
Interesting.
There you go. That's what I know.
I gotta stop knitting. My arm hurts too much.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, there's your Star Wars info for the day.
Yes.
And I don't think we have anything else, do you?
Well, there's Cloud 9.
Oh. I forgot that we were talking about events that are coming up. Yes.
Yeah.
So after the May the 4th Fairy Tale Knits trunk show, then we have Cloud 9, which happens June 28th through 30th. It's our retreat. It's here in the Twin Cities at a hotel by the airport and by the Mall of America.
Yep.
And we've got Kate Atherley and Keith Leonard coming, and they're both going to teach 4 classes, and Kate's going to do a presentation on Friday night on how to work with hand-dyed yarns, hand-painted yarns. Yeah. So time to sign up for that as well. And other than that, oh, and then before that, Cecilia and I go to market, and but that's not going to affect you unless we take our camera along and interview some people. That
Which
could
is
be
possible.
which is what we should do.
That's what we should do.
And other than that, and then all of a sudden it's August, and the Progressive East End Project beep happens, and then all of a sudden we're into fall and
Who knows what'll happen in the
knitting
fall.
all the time.
Yes.
So
Always knitting.
yeah. So anyway, I think that's it for
Yes.
today's episode, because I don't want to make this too long, and since we had to film it in 3 segments with the interview in the middle, I have no idea how long it is. So I'll try to cut some out if it gets too long, but otherwise, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks. All right, bye.
Bye. Be seeing you. Look like Debo or something.